I remember sitting down with my dad, who was also a trumpet player, and just watching Louis Armstrong perform, and just how much joy he was having, and to watch the band swinging so hard, and then you pan out to the audience and you see how you have this symbiotic relationship going on where the audience is pushing Louis, and the same thing with Lionel Hampton. Just getting on stage with him, I think my favorite memories are that we just all loved performing together. And I remember at the Village Gate one time, it was New Year's, and Lionel had suspenders on, and his suspenders broke and his pants came down, and he had his boxers on, and he's still playing and still swinging. I think both of them are such iconic jazz figures, and really father figures too, to me, father of music and otherwise. Lionel was just so welcoming and so loving, and broke down racial barriers with bands, which was so historic and so wonderful and so needed. And Louis was the same way. He would just share his love for music, and it was all about the music. And I think that's what we need going forward in this life, is to really consider good music and listen and support great music. Sure, I mean, being in the house was just one of my favorite days in my life. I mean, this is my first time here, and being in this study where Louis did all his work and his writing and his practicing. We all have our own experiences with that as musicians, and to see what he did and how great he was, and it just really supports the art of practicing and being organized and being so creative. No, I think it's important to keep the art form going. America's classical music, it's so important to keep the band going forward and keep the history alive, and of Lionel Hampton and of Louis Armstrong and of all those great artists there that played with those bands in the past.